Hello, my name is Amy Gonzalez, and I am a senior at Bloomsburg University majoring in criminal justice. Today I'm going to be talking about politics and policing around the world. So to start, what is policing? Police are a constituted body of persons empowered by a state or a country. Police enforce the law and they ensure the safety, health, and order of citizens. Police also prevent crime and civil disorder, and they possess the lawful power of arrest and the use of force characterized by the monopoly of violence. Okay, how politics affect policing. It is our elected officials that appoint the officers and administration that will work our police departments and keep our communities safe. So for example, the American political system and criminal justice system involve actions of our president, congressmen, the courts, interest groups, elections, and the media. And it's the policies that these people implement that directly affect how justice is done. So elected mayors typically appoint chiefs of police. The president of a country appoints Supreme Court justices, which involve the implications with the country's Senate. Okay, areas of policing affected by politics. So these are the three areas that I'm going to be covering. The structure of law enforcement and department policies, the Department of Corrections, and the justice system. So to start, politics and police structure/policy. Criminal laws are made by legislative assemblies. These laws are then decide which acts are prohibited and what punishments are appropriate for those that commit acts in violation of the law. Politics have caused impacts on the system by implementing harsher punishments, longer prison sentences, a decrease in therapeutic programs, maybe an increase in rehabilitation programs, and skyrocketed or limited budgets. Okay, next is politics and corrections. So jail operations stem from the Office of Sheriff. Administration and budgets for the Department of Corrections are politically determined, and parole boards are appointed by the governor. Okay, politics and the justice system. There's a high risk of politics affecting the way justice is carried out, like I mentioned before. Politicians can make appeals to people's emotions, fears, and prejudices to improve their own chances at reappointment or reelection. There are poorly considered policies that can be implemented, irrational decisions can be made, and ill-conceived laws can be written. All of these political aspects have a great impact and effect on the criminal justice system. Okay, and I put together 3 global examples of how politics affect policing. I'm going to be using the United States, Canada, and France as examples. So to start with the United States, the one major example I can think of is the Black Lives Matter movement. So the Black Lives Matter is a political and social movement that stands against racism, discrimination, and inequality experienced by Black people. This all started with protesting against police brutality. I know one of the main cases that a lot of people know of is the George Floyd case. And here's a quote by Professor Daniel Nagin. He states, "The Black Lives Matter movement has to be understood in the context of the historical legacy of the ill treatment by blacks by the police and the criminal justice system and American political and social institutions more generally. That legacy is a fact." Okay, and then the picture I have is just cops looking down on, I guess, just a bunch of protesters. Okay, now for the global example in Canada, we're going to be talking about defunding the police. So we have our True Blue versus our defunders. True Blue are citizens who support and back the police, and defunders are people who believe that we should defund the police. These two categories are split along regional political lines. We have True Blue, which is mainly in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and defunders, which are mainly in Manitoba and Ontario. Defunding the police is a movement of liberation, freedom, and justice. In this picture, you can see Canadians also protesting. Okay, now for France, French police protest and call for more protection. These protests started after the recent deaths of a police officer and a police employee who was killed at headquarters. Policing has become increasingly dangerous due to the government's lack of action to fix France's social issues, such as immigration and issues throughout their school systems. Some political figures from the left joined the protests and even spoke against crime. And this protest was a demonstration of defiance toward the French government. Okay, and in my last slide, I just included 3 pictures that kind of represent how politics affect policing. In the first picture, we have our former president, Donald Trump, with, a bunch of police officers standing behind him, kind of representing. The second one is a quote that says, "From judges to legislators to law enforcement officers, everyone is supposed to be working in service of their community's best interest. However, that is not always the case as power and corruption seep into the process and people begin serving their own needs first." And then the bottom right picture from National Police just says, "Are elected officials helping or hurting police?" Okay, and these are all my citations, and thank you for watching.